So President Wood, I assume, is
Late.
absent.
Put that on the record.
Is it
that
on?
he's late.
President Wood is absent
Yeah,
or
put
late?
it-
Okay.
He's late. He's absent.
Trustee Tarpley,
Here.
Trustee Brady,
Here.
Trustee Terrell,
Here.
Trustee Griffin is absent. Student Trustee Reyes,
Here.
Superintendent President Dr. Walden.
Here.
And are there any public comments related to closed session items? No. Okay. Announcement and recess to closed session.
Trustee Wood. Here. Trustee Tarpley.
Here.
Trustee Brady.
Here.
Trustee Terrell.
Here.
Trustee Griffin is not here tonight. Student Trustee Reyes.
Here.
Superintendent President Dr. Walden.
Here. All right. Public comment. Are there any? No. Wait, I'm on the wrong one. Sorry. Pledge of Allegiance. Let's see. How about Mackenzie?
How about ours?
Because she has the prettiest water truck.
She wrapped it.
She's got the only water.
Oh, wait. Hold on. Yeah, you're right. Sorry, you lost it. Art. It's
How
Art's. It's Art's
rude.
last meeting, right? Is it your last meeting? Okay. Sorry,
He said, "I
Mackenzie.
am
It can be
correct."
next month.
Right hand on your heart, ready to begin.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mackenzie still has the prettiest water truck, though.
On the record.
President Wood, I'd like to invite up, I can't see that well, is Pastor Powers here from High Desert Church? Hello, Mikey. I just can't see really well.
It's a little
Even with
bright in the
glasses, you know,
background.
it's an age thing. Thank you for being here.
Yes, thank you. It's a privilege to be here. Honor. Thank you guys so much for what you do for the community and here for Victor Valley College. Join me in a word of prayer. Heavenly Father, be with us this evening. We work through the things and have conversations. Would you just bless our speech to just be gentle and kind and considerate, Lord, but also let us just act in the wisdom that you've given us. And also as a community that would come forward thinking about the people that we serve, allow us this supernatural wisdom that's pure from above, that we would apply this wisdom to our lives and set the tone for the next generation, but also lead by example. Thank you for your grace and this kindness for this evening. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
Thank you.
Thanks again for.
Thank you.
I feel like we should move that to before closed session.
You think?
The prayer, yes.
Daniel Walden,
We need the wisdom.
closed session report.
There was no action taken, nothing to report.
Announcement of items deleted or corrected from the agenda.
All right, so under 10.8, we're going to find a better way to do this, okay? So just know that next month this probably we'll have a different thing and we'll have to do this. So 10.8, under description, it says qualifies instead of qualified. So it needs to be changed to qualified. Under 10.4, under description, misspelling of fees. Correct the spelling for fees. 16.1, under the reference for agenda, verbiage is not applicable. It should go under 19.1. That's it.
That's it. All right. Board of Trustee goals. I think tonight's my turn. Is that right? Yep.
Yes, it is.
Yes, my turn. All right. So as everybody's aware, the board has numerous goals. Tonight I'm going to talk about Goal 1, which is providing appropriate support for the associated student body for the 2024-2025 goals and objectives that advocate for and increase student success, student safety, and student pride in themselves in Victor Valley College. So the board is providing support for the ASB goals and objectives, including increase in student success, student safety, and student pride in themselves in Victor Valley. The board has recently approved funding for the art building and the kiln yard, the shade structures, the bio impressions, mobile, live scan, and notary to live scan job applicants, which help to streamline the hiring process for students. In addition, the board was crucial in supporting and approving funding for the implementation of the use of EBT cash and EBT groceries to be used on campus, an initiative that our world famous ASB has been a real champion of. You guys really did all the hard work on that. The credit really goes to you guys. But we were crucial in saying, yay, go ASB. Goal 4, in response to recent significant growth in full-time equivalent students, the board recognizes the need to address necessary improvements in campus resources as detailed by the facilities master plan and for new policies and procedures for the Fiscal Services Division, including a computerized payroll system. So we are currently conducting a payroll audit in collaboration with Cambridge West. We're reviewing our existing policies and procedures to identify and implement necessary improvements and automation. The fiscal team is also working closely with Cambridge West to ensure alignment and is in the process of implementing revised policies and procedures for presentation to the College Council in the fall. Additionally, Cambridge West is finalizing campus-wide building drawings. The next step will be the development of the facilities master plan. We are aiming to finalize a contract in time to present at the next board meeting. And so there is just a little snippet update for board goals. With that, we will go to communications. Individualized Board of Trustee reports. Who wants to go first?
I'll go first.
Oh,
You're welcome. I'm going to set the tone for the quickness.
are you?
Hopefully. I try every month. Okay. Hi, guys. Saturday, May 31st, the board had what they like to refer to as a retreat. There was no spa day. There was no massage. We had professional development where we had somebody from the ACCT come in, and we spent all day learning a little bit more about board roles and learning a little bit more about each other, which was fun and informational. Wednesday, June 5th, I attended the adult ed graduation with my tissues. It was amazing, always a real inspiring event, and I highly recommend all of you to go to it because it is just the reason that you all work so hard. I can't even tell you how amazing that event is. And then Thursday, June 6th, I attended the Foundation President Circle Luncheon as Dr. Walden's guest and enjoyed that thoroughly. Tyler's food, amazing. As usual. It was so delicious. He did a Hawaiian, their take on Hawaiian barbecue, and the students just knocked it out of the park, and it is just such a pleasure to be a minuscule part of this school. So thank you for having me and inviting me to all these fun events, and I plan on attending more as this is the season. Take it away, anybody else, quickly, please.
Steve?
I'll go. So I attended the Manufacturers Council of the Inland Empire golf fundraiser to provide scholarships, and 6 of those will be presented here on the 17th. So that'll be a good thing. I'll be presenting those from MCIE because I'm on that board as well. Also attended the adult ed graduation. That was very good. Thank you for representing, Jennifer. Also attended the VMI, the Valley Morning Insight for the Chamber of Commerce. So those are the highlights.
Joe?
Last month, I overlooked acknowledging 2 people that were part of our healthcare luncheon that really did a good job, and they really kind of brought the whole thing together, and that was Alicia Sandello and Martha Mendez. So, Richard, I don't know if you heard that or not, but Miss Sandello and Martha did a great job, and I kind of overlooked it the prior month. I understand through one of my favorite attorneys, Diana Carloni, that the San Bernardino County Bar Association celebrated their 150th anniversary here. They loved it. And a big shout out to David Greiner and to Lynn Glickstein. They really, really were very, very impressed. So I thought the retreat was a whole lot better than what I expected. I thought it was just going to be kind of another retreat. What I found, I think, I learned something about each one of the board members I didn't know. I think they learned something about me that they didn't know. And I really thought that she did a really good job in kind of, taking a boring, let's sit down for 6 hours without the massage and without the alcohol.
It's not a retreat, it's a meeting.
Yeah, so no, it did a good job, so thanks.
All right, Haley?
All right, hello everyone. I attended the Asian American Pacific Islander Heritage event, and that was a blast. We had so much student engagement, community engagement, and I'm really proud of ASB for putting that on. This last week, that was the Psi Beta induction for the National Honor Society for Psychology, where 32 students were inducted, and it's amazing that they're being recognized for the hard work they've put in here. I also attended the adult ed graduation, and as Trustee Tarpley said, that was beautiful. I mean, I was recording the whole thing as a camera woman, but it was exciting to still be there. And then this last week was also the study-a-thon and art show. I do want to give a shout out to Professor Onweiss and Professor Frank Foster and whoever else was involved in that. It was amazing, as always. Thank you.
That's it? Yeah. All right. So this has been a busy week for all of us. I agree and would say what you guys said about the retreat. Should be called a training. A meeting, a training. It was exceptional. It was very nice, especially with 2 new trustees. Dr. Griffin was there as well. So the time to interact and do the like hypothetical things and whatnot, kind of the group work and everything was really fun and learned a lot, came away better than I went in, so that's always good. I did attend the adult ed. I showed up late. I was at a doctor's appointment, so Jen was kind enough to step up. I knew that I was probably going to be late, so Jen stepped up and took the seat up on stage. I did make the tail end of it, and from what I saw, it was spectacular, very amazing. Great event. I was at the Bar Association event next door. The Bar Association event was exceptional. So I think probably everybody in the room, or 99% of everybody in the room, knows that I work at the Victorville Courthouse. I do juvenile cases. We have a judge over there, a juvenile judge, Judge Morgan. She is VVC's biggest cheerleader at the courthouse. It's amazing, all the juveniles that come through there. She pushes every one of them to come over here, sign up for classes. She doesn't care what class, any class, do dual enrollment, come over and sign up for a class, anything. She pushes them really hard. It was important to me to start to get her connected. Dan and I have been working for a little while to have like a meet and greet with Dan and Judge Morgan to strengthen that bond. And that pathway, essentially, with a judge kind of almost ordering kids to come to VVC. She can't really order them, but she kind of orders them. So she did get to come over. She did get to meet with some VVC people. Robert, I don't know how, with his clairvoyance, Robert just knows everything that's going on, and he knows exactly the right thing to do at exactly the right moment. Robert came into the room with a little swag bag, brought her a little VVC lammy, a little lammy.
Oh my gosh, it's never gonna
little
die.
llama Big Bang. Robert brought her one of those, and the very next morning when I walked into her courtroom, that thing is prominently displayed on the bench. It's illegal to take photographs in a courtroom, so with permission, I took a photograph, sent it to Dan and to Robert of our VVC mascot. They're prominently displayed on the judge's bench, and we are going to continue to strengthen that bond between the court and VVC. Mm-hmm. The event itself was exceptional. The food was great. Also attended the Black, help me out here, because it was Umoja in association with the BSU. Am I right so far?
Yes, the Black Celebration for Black Graduates.
So that was here in this room. It was unbelievably attended, and I will tell you, the energy level, the enthusiasm was unbelievable. I think everyone in this room has attended lots of graduations, nurse pinnings, main campus graduation, and every time at every other graduation, they shout out a name. You know, here comes Joseph Brady. They say his name, and you hear a group over there cheer really loud, and you go, well, that must be Joe's family. And then they go, and Jennifer Tarpley, and a group over here, and you go, that must be Jennifer's family. You kind of know, right? The people in the crowd only cheer for their own people coming across the stage. At this event, you absolutely could not tell who was there. English majors, help me out. For whom? Right?
Oh,
for whom?
Fancy.
For whom?
Tim Adela saying yes.
Who was there for whom?
Judges say yes.
Right? Yes, judges. Thank you, judges.
I just kicked
Every single name they called out, the entire room went crazy.
Exploded.
The entire room cheered. I've got to believe that a lot of those parents, grandparents, wives, husbands, friends, kids didn't know every one of those people, I mean, maybe they do all know each other. I don't know, but I feel like they probably didn't. There was probably 400 people in the room. But for every name that was called, every single person cheered as if it was their own husband, wife, boyfriend, girlfriend, son, daughter, mom, dad. That was super infectious, and that level of support was amazing. Beyond that, Tyler catered it. I gained 2 pounds, which I had words with Tyler about in the hallway and told him,
How dare you tell him anything?
every single time I see your face,
He's
I gain
perfection.
weight. And I did. I was up 2 pounds the next morning. Thank you, Tyler, for that. Somebody please show him that on the video.
He's perfection. Stop picking on him.
It's so good. It's amazing. I curse him, but
Never.
he is amazing.
Just say thank you.
And I think that's it. The retreat, the celebration bar, adult ed. Yep, that's it. That's all I did this month.
Just to clarify, so it wasn't actually a graduation. It was celebrating our Black and African American students who are graduating. And it's something we brought them together because of their affinity on campus in the Emoja program and in trying to reach parity and close the gap, which there is, unfortunately. We're working really, really hard on it, and we will get the gap closed. It will happen. And this program is really is helping us get that done. And I have to shout out to Todd Scott, who has really led this charge. He went out there and found Hakeem, and Hakeem is just unbelievable, just a rock star. Yeah. So anyway, moving on to Jay, if you would come up here. Jay's going to give you a very brief presentation. Just so you know, over the years, we've been having a problem and it's been worse since this really started in COVID, and it's gotten worse, where thousands of fake students try to get into the college in order to get financial aid. We weed them out. We don't allow them to stay, but the work of weeding them out is huge. What you'll hear from Jay tonight is it's like spraying bug spray. After a while, the bugs say, we should go somewhere else. And that's what's starting to happen. We've gone down from thousands and thousands to a few hundred now that we just have to go through and find where they are, and then we take those out. But go ahead, Jay.
Nope.
Nope. Is Mike?
Testing?
Yes.
There we go. Dr. Walden, Board of Trustees. I'm pleased to try to give you a 50,000 plus view of our attempts at thwarting fraud, bot students, ghost students, financial aid fraud, et cetera, that we're doing at VVC. I do want to say I had a great conversation with our academic senate president just prior to the meeting this evening. And this is really one battle in an ongoing war, just to steal your phrase, if I may. Because, as Dr. Walden had mentioned, people trying to commit financial aid fraud, going into classes when they shouldn't be as ghosts, et cetera, have a very easy way using technology to earn quite a bit of fraudulent money. For example, Pell grants are about $7,000-ish if you're successful in getting one. And if you get one grant across 10 community colleges, that's enough to pay for your life pretty much for a year. So this is very lucrative for them. So what we've done at VVC is try to put a multi-layered approach in place, thank you, in order to prevent this from happening. So do want to say that we're taking some pretty cutting edge steps here. I will purposefully not dive deeply into the actual detail as to what we're doing. This is a public forum. And if any one of these folks trying to commit financial aid fraud were to watch this video where I were to detail exactly what we were doing, that would give them a way to circumvent what we're trying to do here. If you are curious, I'm happy to discuss these in detail in person, but I prefer not to do that in a public fashion. Second, I do want to send a shout out to Dean Alvarez, who I think I saw in the back, in addition to Art Lopez, VP, outgoing, retiring. I'm going to miss you. They have been phenomenal partners in a lot of the work that we've been doing here, not to mention Connect to Success, the whole IT group, our faculty can't not be mentioned here because they're our last line of defense. And just know that we are constantly going to strengthen and change these measures that we've implemented as things warrant change. Because again, this is a battle in the war. This is not the entire war. I tried to be picturesque here because some of these technical terms can get really interesting. But if we start on the top left slide here, about 99+% of applications come in through the Chancellor's Office with CCC Apply. We've worked with the Chancellor's Office to implement fraud detection number 1 of multiple at their level, which is detecting fraud in that when a student applies, say from China to go to VVC, that's a red flag. Because it doesn't make sense for a student who is physically located in China to apply to this college. So we shut down and flag that application right away. So that application never makes it through. The second piece is looking at the data that the student has put in their application, or at that point still the applicant. And if any of that data hits a fraud score of 34% or more, and again, we can get into the details of what makes those percentages in person if you'd like to, but we're more than a third sure that they're fraudulent, we flag their application for additional review. Those applications that make it through that stage are automatically transferred into our system where 2 additional checks happen. Number 1, there's a manual review that's done by a person on VP Lopez's team to see whether or not any of these look from a human-centric perspective as potentially fraudulent. The second piece is a secondary automated check that happens at a rapidly decreasing frequency, meaning it used to happen every couple weeks. Now it happens a little more often than once a week. Pretty soon it's going to happen upon application. But we send the data out to a third-party verification service, and I'll thank Jackson for helping me find this service as well in the fiscal space. But they ask questions like, was the person's social security number issued prior to the date of birth reported by that applicant? And about 3,000 or 4,000 other questions on the demographic data that we provide to them in a very secure way, so that we can tell a fraud rating of that student. They come back as either we definitely know this student is fraudulent or this application is fraudulent because we've seen it in other areas, or this is highly suspect and you should take a look at those. At those highly suspect ones, I've partnered again, like I said, with VP Lopez, Dean Alvarez, and their teams, where we put immediate holds on those accounts, both from a financial perspective and a registration perspective. So if they made it through even into our systems, at that point they can no longer register for additional classes, nor can they get dispersed financial aid, which is the big winner here, until they actually verify in person to the satisfaction of the student services team. In addition to that, like I said, our last line of defense is our faculty. When faculty notice that students have gotten through these checks, and some certainly still do, but they notice that student has not participated in class, they flag those students as fraudulent or as ghosts at the census marking date. So at that point, the students' accounts are then shut down, or the enrollment in those sections are also shut down. So we have many, many layers of defense here. In addition to that, we've implemented 2 new pieces of technology, or newer pieces of technology. The first one is we went live with multi-factor authentication for every single account at VVC. So now not only staff and faculty, but students need to identify through a third-party mechanism, be that a text message, an application on their phone, et cetera, that they are who they say they are. That one action has dropped the phishing account emails down to 0 since 5/25. In addition to account takeovers, meaning someone hacking into a student's account, has dropped down to almost nothing. These were events that were happening dozens of times a day prior to the implementation of multi-factor authentication. And I'll shout out Robert and his team from a marketing perspective. They helped us market this very well to the student population. Last but not least, in this supporting technology concept, we have the ability to inspect email as it comes into our environment. We don't do this very often, but in this case, we do. We look for emails coming from Bank Mobile that tell the student, hey, you've changed your account for disbursement of your financial aid, which is what would normally happen if a person trying to commit fraud would go into the Bank Mobile account, change the student's account, instead of depositing it into the student's bank, to deposit it into the fraudster's bank. So now we can take proactive action stating, hey, we've noticed you've changed your account. Did you actually do that? If not, let us help you change it back and put a hold on the disbursement.
And protect it.
So these are some of the actions that we're taking. I've written all these down on the slides for you in case you didn't want to necessarily take notes, but it is a multi-tiered attack vector, or a prevention really, to try to prevent a lot of these fraudsters from being able to successfully complete fraud at the college. Last but not least, you'll notice that malicious domain blocking, this is something we just added, meaning that if we know a domain is malicious, so a domain is the google.com, for example, but imagine if a form is sent to a student that says, give me all of your personal information that was sent by someone who wanted to commit fraud, we now are able to block that student from being able to access that domain on a VVC system. So again, another layer in our layered defense. And I had mentioned the monitoring of those emails, et cetera, and this is a continuous effort. The results here are student phishing and account takeovers are almost zero. We are now identifying, prior to hitting our systems, thousands of fraudulent applications. In April, the applications that made it through that were detected as fraud were only 393 out of multi-thousand. And in May, it increased a little bit, but fortunately, we're still under that 500 number. And just know that we in IT remain committed to strengthening and preventing fraud in any way we possibly can. Any questions?
Amazing.
It's just sad.
Thanks, Jay.
It keeps us employed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People lay awake all night long trying to figure
I mean,
it out.
you could stay without it. I'd rather the students not be targeted for this, but
I would agree.
yeah. We actually are a target all the time whenever the president changes.
Oh, yeah.
We get asked for gift cards and things, but it's pretty humorous at this point.
Yeah, all the time.
Okay.
Stop
Thank you,
asking
Jay.
for apple cards.
Right. Thank you.
All right, Kirsten, come right on.
Good evening, everyone.
From him. I know.
I don't even understand anymore.
I know.
So while we start before the video comes on, I am sharing with you all that we are 50 years old this year. We were established in 1975 and have raised over $50 million during that time. So.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. So some great numbers there. Okay. Thank you, Tim. You can go right to the next slide, please. So we're at President's Circle. Trustee Tarpley did allude to it, but we inducted 4 new members to our President's Circle. And then if you go to the next slide, there is a video I'd like to share with you.
Look at that food. Oh. Now I just want more.
So we did a little happy 50th birthday party for us. A couple of the new inductees, Leslie Murillo is a faculty here, and she recently created 2 new scholarships with us. And she'll actually be speaking. She's an alumni guest speaker, and will be presenting at our scholarship ceremony on Tuesday, for those of you who will be there. She has a great story. It's very impactful. Next slide, please. And here we'll be providing $259,000, $600 in funding, 332 individual scholarships to 300 unique students. Next slide. And please note there has been a venue change. We were supposed to be at the PAC on Tuesday the 17th. We are now here at the Event Center. There were so many respondents, the PAC can't hold us. So we're expecting quite a good crowd. Yeah, really exciting. So we'll be here from starting at 8 o'clock. Check-in starts at 8, and the celebration kicks off at 9. And so everyone is welcome to join us.
That's a good problem to have.
pretty
Congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah,
Go
it
back
is.
to the drive-through one.
And we're excited to have it here
Oh, yeah.
for the first
Oh,
time and
yeah.
bring in so many new people to this event center.
You guys do great work.
Thank you.
Amazing work.
Thank you. Any questions?
The lunch was great, and I got Todd's salad.
Lunch was
That's
great.
the
Yeah.
second one.
Okay.
It was good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, ASB goals, and while they're doing that, did you have slides?
Yes.
Okay.
Don't forget to tell everybody that you've been reelected for the second time.
That's
And only one other student trustee has been in that position, what, in 28 years?
Yes.
Way to ruin the surprise, Joe.
Yeah.
He just can't help himself.
Yeah. I want to be sure she said something.
Well,
Surprise!
you'll find out who the other
Wait.
members are at the retreat.
We wasted the good surprise on you.
All right, so this is the report that we look forward to every year, the big slideshow of ASB's goals and what we've accomplished this year. Next slide, please, Tim. All right, so we broke down all 11 of our goals into 4 different groups. So enhanced communication, beautification improvements, expanding student opportunities, and improved student access. Next slide. All right, so starting with the enhanced communication group, the associate student body requests to be consulted through the design of the new VVC website, and our progress, next slide, is there is a website design on the agenda tonight that we saw last month at the meeting with ACEVOX. But what ASB did is we researched all 117 community college websites and some respectable universities, and they identified what they did and did not like. I believe it came to like a 700-page document of ASB opinions
Give that to
with
Xbox.
pictures. All right, next slide.
That tracks.
This is our publicizing student involvement. So our goal was to, in support of the Guided Pathways model, the ASB will publicize and encourage student involvement for the Thrive to Drive campaign and engagement in career centers. And our progress is Thrive to Drive was released, and one of our first giveaway attempts was wrestling match on April 2nd, where we gave away a PS5, some cornhole, Apple pencils, and stadium chairs, and it was amazing. This Thrive to Drive campaign is available in all engagement centers and at the events, and this really brings in student engagement because when they find out, oh, I can win a prize, especially when they talk about winning a car, that's just amazing and getting them in there. And I know it's a battle between all the students. They're like, I'm gonna get more points than you, and we're like, sure, pal. Let's we'll see who gets it. But I'm excited to see all the students come together and be excited about something. All right, next slide. All right, publicizing the Basic Needs Center. To build on the Basic Needs Center success, the ASB will publicize its events and encourage students to use its services. And our progress. We posted in Rams Monthly, which is our monthly magazine that goes out every single month. Shout out to Robert Sewell and Andrew Caravella for the hard work they do in that. We also give out the information about Thrive when students are coming to get their IDs. We make a real personable connection with them, since most of the time when you're getting your ID, it's when you're brand new to the school or just renewing in classes and everything. So we just make sure that they know all the information they need. And then as well, Thrive does their weekly food bundles every Thursday in the Student Activities Center, and it's been really great. There's people with wagons outside at 7 in the morning, and they don't even start till like the afternoon. And so it's just great to see all the students using these resources to their advantage. All right, next slide. All right, the ASB Council requests that the appropriate vice presidents repair the art building in Kilnyard to enhance the art program. In our progress, we have new carpeting put in over spring break, thanks to the board for voting on that item, as well as we're waiting on someone to look at the Kilnyard to see if it can be serviced, as this was Jacob Klein.
The kiln is now working.
Oh. Well, we can add that to the goals. Check mark. As you can see, this is the new carpet, and we're definitely looking forward to hopefully seeing our program grow with ceramics courses, as this was a big thing for Jacob Kleinsmith when he gave an outstanding presentation to administrators. All right, next slide. ASB will collaborate with administration to construct outdoor shaded study areas with priority to Lower Campus. And our progress. that is an example of what the shaded structure will look like. And there's one being built by Building 66 because, since it is priority to Lower Campus, and we'll hopefully see more in the future. All right, next slide. All right, the ASB will collaborate with students and agriculture faculty to revitalize the botanical garden and our progress. On November 22nd, we planted 20 to 30 plants with help from ASB clubs. It was amazing. A lot of students didn't know this area existed. So being able to introduce them to that and especially help out the agriculture students, they're really happy about it. All right, next slide. To advocate for student success, the ASB Council will work with the VVC Foundation to promote and increase scholarship opportunities. And as you see, for the during Black History Month, as well as Valentine's Day, we made it all about education and made sure students knew that to succeed, sometimes you need help. And so that's what scholarships is. She's thinking about that she has a dream to succeed. All right, next slide. And as Foundation already presented, there was a $29,600 increase in scholarships, and the scholarship ceremony is June 17th, and I'm so excited. All right, next slide. The Associate Student Body will collaborate with Student Services and Human Resources to enhance student success by creating and clarifying job opportunities, streamlining the hiring process, and improving career resources. Next slide. We are working with Human Resources to create a pamphlet as well as live scan. They have like these machines where instead of doing the rolling fingerprints, you can just do this and go tap and then you're done. So it definitely makes it easier on Human Resources in getting those applications through. All right. Nutrition being necessary for educational success, the ASB Council will partner with the Vice President of Administrative Services for extended hours of operation of food services and diverse options such as vegetarian and vegan. Next slide. Our first round of vegan options was during Club Rush, where we served vegan nuggets and vegan burger. Both Club Rushes had vegan nuggets, and you honestly can't even tell that it wasn't real meat. It does not taste, it tastes like chicken, but it's not chicken. And it was surprisingly good. I didn't think I'd like it, but I did. As well. And the hours have extended on Fridays. We used to not be open those days. So now Rams Cafe is open for the students that are there on Fridays, and they are able to get a meal to eat. All right, next slide.
How did they sell? Do you know how they sold?
How they sold?
Yeah, do you know, like, did they sell, were they like hot items or were they?
I think they went out first before the pizza did.
Oh, beat pizza.
Yeah. Because we had pizza too, in case, some people, when they hear the word vegan, they get scared. But yeah, that was the first item to go out before any of the other options. All right, next slide. ASB will assist the Vice President of Student Services in promoting an anonymous reporting system, thereby increasing student safety. Sad to see Art Lopez go. You will be missed, my former best friend.
Former?
All right.
Dang.
Well, it's because Mackenzie Tarango's my best friend this year. Yeah. I can't betray her.
That's it. You're out, buddy.
You can have more than
we're
one
still
friend.
friends.
I like that word she used, train, huh? I heard that.
All right, so this is about the blue light system. What ASB did is we made a map ranking locations most necessary to would be nice in certain areas so that students have an area where they can anonymously report without putting themselves out there at risk of anything. And that's as the much progress we have on that as so far. All right, next slide. ASB will work with administration to make the Canvas tutorial more readily available to students. Next slide. We brought this to consultation, and I want to say thank you to VP Art Lopez and Jay Cohen, because this goal just got completed today. I made sure we had this one last thing. So it is now under the student orientation section on the website, and I was glad I was able to get that before I had to present tonight. It was amazing. All right, and I believe we are friends. We'll always be friends. All right, and that is it. We just want to say thank you to the board for all you do, especially with the resolution that we talked about earlier. EBT grocery and EBT cash are being worked on and for the bookstore, student store. And so we're just excited to be here and thankful for your support. So thank you.
All right, so the law says that by the end of June, every year, the local board of trustees shall adopt and approve a tentative budget for the next year, which is the July 1, 2025 through June 30, 2026. So, Dr. Vreeman, it's yours.
Right. Thank you very much, Board of Trustees, Dr. Walden, for the opportunity to share the tentative budget. I just want to share a few process pieces around the budget. So I just want to talk a little bit about the budget cycle and where we're at. So the governor releases the proposed budget in January of 25. Following that, that's when we start looking at our revenue. We're really looking at how much money is the college going to bring in for the following year. After the budget in January and February, we get our first report. It's called P1, apportionment period from 24-25, so current year. Because we base our revenue off this year's enrollment and this year's figures. So we do that in February, and we start working on the budget in January and February. Then on May 14th, we had a budget revise. So the governor posts a budget revision, and we look at those assumptions in the budget revision. And then I'm here before you today. There's a couple things that are going to happen between now and September when I come back and present the final budget in regards to revenue. So we'll get our second reporting period for this year. Our P2 comes in a few weeks. So we won't do the final budget based on P1, we'll do it on P2. And so that comes in a couple weeks. And then also right around the same time, the state will finalize the budget. And I'll share a little bit about where the legislature is now. So I'm bringing you the best information we have today around revenues and expenditures. And by September, we're going to have a couple more steps, and it'll be a final budget in September. So those are the big differences that happen between now and September. So in that May revision I talked about, what we get, the information we get, and that we update for this budget is we get an estimated COLA for next year. So the estimated COLA is 2.3%. And you can see that went up from went down from the January budget. They're talking about deferrals. So one of the ways the state government's around $14 billion. If you look at their estimated revenue and expenditures next year, looking at about a $14 billion deficit. Mm-hmm. So one of the ways they do some budget tricks is they owe us money for a certain time of the year, so we get cash throughout the year from the state, but they might defer a couple months. So the idea was to defer the last 2 months of 25-26 and the 26-27 school year. And so that's some budget trickery that they've used over the years. Enrollment growth, and we'll talk a little bit more about that, but they're estimating at 2.35% for enrollment growth, and that was up from 0.5% in January, so predicting more enrollment growth. And then you can see some wildfire relief for the current year and for the next year for those colleges that were affected by the wildfires. So that was the major parts of the May revision. So let's talk a little bit about our unrestricted general fund budget, and that's the majority, the largest portion of our budget. And I'll share a little bit about what that looks like. Some assumptions. As you might know, we follow a 50% law in community colleges, and where at least 50% of our unrestricted general fund revenue has to go to the instructional program. There's a board designated reserve of 16.67%. And then I just put a note on here, everything I'm showing you tonight has to do with P1 and the May revision, and we'll have a final budget in September when we get more data from the state. Some revenue assumptions, and I'll just show you quickly where P1, where we get that information. Our P1 in February also had unfunded FTESs. So many colleges, actually we're the fastest growing community college in the state, but many colleges now have unfunded FTESs. And so that might be fixed by final budget in September. We're hopeful, but that is in tonight's budget because that has not been officially changed yet. There's no deficit factor. In previous years, they say, we're going to give you this money, but we're going to apply a deficit factor. So the May revision had no deficit factor. And then I talked about the assumption growth assumption of 2.35% and COLA at 2.3%. So that's the revenue assumptions. So this is hard to read, so we'll blow it up. But there's this, you can go to the Chancellor's website. It's called the TCR, Total Computational Revenue. This is the information we used for our tentative budget this evening. And you can see that we had 1,678 unfunded FTSs in the amount of $8.8 million. That was at P1. So the other thing we get from this document is our total TCR. And so we take our total TCR, and then remember this is a P2, P1, P2, in a couple weeks this is going to change, but this is what we use tonight. You take that 98.6 million as our current TCR on our P1, and then you apply some factors to it. So you apply the 2.3% COLA, you apply the 2.35% enrollment growth, and that's our total state apportionment on the general fund. There's some other state revenue, some other local revenue. So what we're projecting for at this time for next year is our revenue on the unrestricted side would be $113 million. So I just want to show the Board of Trustees where we received that from. And anybody can go to the Chancellor's website, take our assumptions, and it's there for everyone's information. Some expense assumptions. Our health and welfare is increasing anywhere from 4.2 to 7%, depending on the plan. There is some good news, though it's pretty high as it is, but our PERS employer contribution dropped by 0.24, but we're still paying 26.81% PERS employee contribution on retirement. And then the CalSTRS contribution is remaining the same. Step and column salary increases. If you don't know, for many employees, there is a step and column to a certain amount of years, an automatic increase, right around 4.8%. But that only goes to a certain amount. So there are employees that have gone to the max of the step and column and will not get that. There's not another step for those employees. One thing I did not put up there is later in the board agenda, you'll see SWAC and our PIP. Those are our property liability insurance as well as our workers' compensation insurance. And our property and liability went up 27% this year. And then our workman's comp went up about 6%. So those are other budget assumptions that we built in to the budget. So then we get to this chart. And what this chart does is it shows you the first column is 23-24 actuals. So after the audit's done, after we've done estimate actuals, that's actually the money that came in, and the money we spent. So you can see the beginning fund balance, revenue, total revenue, operating expenditures, and then you can see that change in fund balance, $8.7 million. That was also a year that we received 8.22% COLA, but the fund balance was 8.7, and our reserve was 44%.
So I just point out, looking at this chart, notice that every year the revenue is more than the expenditures. So that's how the year ended in 23-24. That was how our adopted budget in 24-25 was, and our projected actuals in 24-25 are still in that ratio. And so then our 25-26 is still projected to be lower expenditures than revenues, because when you invert that, you have a structural deficit. All right? So this is how you want to keep a budget, is where the revenues coming in are more than the expenditures going out on the general fund. Now, for some of this is given in raises, some of that excess. Others of it is moved to our capital outlay projects, in which that's how we're keeping the campus beautiful and just getting all the different structures and buildings built, and beautification of the campus. So that's just kind of a picture I just wanted to point out on this one slide, because that's where I think a board really has to be diligent in watching that ratio of making sure there's no structural issue. Because when you got more expenses, that means you've hired too many people, or you've obligated too much money, and you don't have the revenue coming in to cover those ongoing expenses. And that's, I know that Trustee Brady's pointed out on many occasions that when he came, I believe, you said there was a $4 million structural deficit. So imagine that being every year $4 million more expenses than revenue. So that's been corrected over time, and we want to keep it that way.
Thank you, Dr. Walden. Also, if you look at the change in fund balance, you can see that goes from 8.7, and we're projecting 687,000. That's from unfunded FTESs. So remember that $8.8 million. If we were to receive all of that, it would be a different story. So a budget view of all funds. So I mentioned the unrestricted general fund is $113 million, but for the college, we have a $275 million budget. The rest of those programs are restricted dollars. So the unrestricted general fund, $53 million. Those are strong workforce and all the other programs that instruction overseas and has specific requirements. But each one of those has a specific purpose. So we focus on the unrestricted general fund. That's why we spent so much time on it, because the remainder of that funding is either federally or state regulated. Just a reminder where we are. We have two big dates coming up soon before the next budget. So what are we going to do between now and September? We're going to update the projected revenue. We're going to use P2 that we'll receive in late June. In the final budget with the governor and the state, there might be updated COLA, growth factor, or a deficit factor. We'll take that all into account. And then we're doing two budgets at the same time. So we're closing 24-25 as we're going to, when I say we, Jackson Quo and his team, which have been amazing, are doing two budgets at the same time. So in June today, I can give you estimated actuals for 24-25. That's how much money we think we're going to have at the end of the year. Because the end of the year 24-25 becomes our beginning fund balance in 25-26. So we have estimated actuals. In September, I'll bring you unaudited actuals. So we'll close the books, we'll get everything paid, we'll look at our revenue, and then we'll have a new beginning fund balance because we do unaudited actuals. Why they're called unaudited, because after we close the books, then our auditors come in and look at the 24-25 school year to make sure our numbers are accurate, or they might give us adjustments. And then, as I mentioned, 24-25 ending fund balance becomes the 25-26 beginning fund balance. And then the other thing that could happen is any staffing changes that happen between now and September. If we add additional staff, we'll put that into the budget. Just recently, yesterday, we received a budget update from the state. The Senate Assembly have gotten together and agreed on a budget. And there were some big things for community colleges. Now they take this information that goes to the governor, and then he can hopefully approve their changes. But one of the things we were looking at is there's something called Proposition 98, where around 40% of the state's unrestricted general fund revenue goes to K-14 education. So it goes to K-12s as well as community colleges. They were going to reshape that pie because K-12s started a transitional kindergarten or pre-kindergarten program. So our percent of the money we were going to receive at community colleges was going to be less because K-12 started a new grade level. So the legislature got together and said, let's not do that. And so that's a win for us. They're talking about the creation of a one-time student support block grant. And here's the big one. For the current year, 24-25, they're talking about, remember I said there were 1,600 unfunded FTES for the current year? They're talking about funding us for those FTESs. And so that would be a significant increase on the 24-25 revenue. You can see there's some firefighter apprenticeship reimbursements, $15 million for Dream Resource Liaison, and then $5.1 million for financial support. So this came out yesterday. The legislature's agreed. Now this budget goes to the governor for approval. And that has to all be done before June 30th. So I'd be happy to answer any questions. And Jackson's here if I can't. So we're both here to answer any questions you might have.
Great presentation.
Great, yeah.
Thank you, thank you.
All right, so we shared this with the college last week at an open budget forum, and we'll have another one once we have a final budget. And when we bring the final budget to you, you'll get a printed packet, a nice little spiral bound thing. All right, thank you. Now, if you'll let me just take a little liberty here. I would like to call up to the podium Vice President Art Lopez.
Art Lopez, formerly known as Haley's friend.
Best friend.
You have to go up to the mountains to know what this best friend stuff's about. But this is from Victor Valley College in honor of your distinguished service presented to Arthur Lopez in recognition of 38 years of your dedicated service in California community colleges, including 13 years of visionary advocacy and exceptional leadership at Victor Valley College. Thank you for all you have done, Victor Valley College. So we're going to give you a moment to say whatever you'd like to say.
Sure.
Ooh, let it all out, Art.
Wow.
Last meeting, let it fly.
I know. I just can't believe 13 years went by so fast.
Take a picture of this. You just keep on.
Not to mention the 38 years. So I just want to say thank you. It's truly been an honor being here for the past 13 years. I've enjoyed every moment. To be honest, I didn't think I was going to be here for 3 years. But 3 went to 5, 5 went to 10. Next you know, it's 13. But it's time to say goodbye. I need to go back home to San Diego, be with my sisters. And I just want to say thank you to everybody, all my colleagues, everybody on campus. I mean, you have to know, we truly have special people here. So I want to say thank you to all the administrators here from both sides of the house. Thank you. It's been great working with you, and I'm going to miss you. And I think you guys know that. Lee, I'm going to miss you. Why? Because you're so tall, and every time I see you, it's just like, God, I wish I was that tall. I'm going to miss the cabinet. It's been great working with you. Eric, I know you're the newbie, but you've shown that you're going to do great things here. Todd, I really don't like you, and I want everybody to know that.
I knew it.
So you got it. You finally were able to say, I got control, huh?
Now it's getting good.
Yeah.
Jay, thank you for your past year. I know you're going to continue to do great things. Mackenzie, you know I love you. We talked, and I'm going to miss you quite a bit. Monica, it's truly been a pleasure working with you. I still wanted you to get a BMW, but you didn't. But that's okay. And to all of you up there, you know, what can I say? It's been truly an honor just being here with you. So thank you so much. God bless.
President Wood, if I could say something.
That was epic.
You know, Art, when you said you didn't know how long you're going to stay here, when you got here, things were a little rough. And I remember many conversations where, you know, kind of like, did I really pick the right place? I've enjoyed working with you. I've enjoyed every conversation. I know you wish you were as tall as Lee Bennett, because I know you really dreamed to be playing either for the Lakers or the Clippers. And but that ship passed. I just want to tell you from the bottom of my heart. Yeah, that ship passed. I used to hang from the jungle gym bars hoping that I'd get in the NBA someday, but
And now you just have really long arms?
no, they didn't grow any farther. So, no, thanks for your passion. You've got great passion. And you are the second best dresser at the college. Only kidding. So, Todd, what?
Behind you.
Yeah. My wife wanted me to dress really well tonight because she said, I just want to be sure you dress just a little bit better, Art. So she loves you too.
Yeah, Art, I don't know, are we doing this? We're doing this. Art, it's been great, man. The level of enthusiasm, the attitude, just the way you go at everything with happiness, and no matter what the problem comes, you're like, yeah, let's fix this. Like, you always have such a great attitude, and what you bring is just amazing, man. It's been amazing knowing you. It's been fun talking crap with you. It's been fun hanging out with you. All the things. So I just look back over all the years. I can't even begin to imagine what it's going to be like to look out and not have you sitting there. It's kind of sad. I mean, we know Todd will be happy because he doesn't have anybody showing him up and making him look bad and all the other things. So he'll be happy to see you go. But yeah, man, it's been great. Stay in touch, and we'll come down and you can take us to a Padres game. Anybody else want to get in?
I don't have a lot to say. We've already talked about a lot, but
You don't like him?
no, I like him immensely, and so I think this is a great loss. I hate saying too. You are just irreplaceable, in my opinion, and so I very much understand what you're doing, and I just wish it wasn't so. Appreciate all you've done, and just appreciate who you are as a human, and that's what makes you irreplaceable, who you are as a human. It's so important. This is my HR side, Monica. So important that we hire for attitude, and even more so than skill set, right? We can teach the things, but it's the person, the quality of person that matters the most and makes this place so special. And so it is very much a loss, and we're very happy for you. You are living the dream of retirement, but we will miss you.
Thank you very much.
New guy.
Wait, can I say something?
Yes, of course.
So I may tease you now.
Uh-oh.
But before, when I first met you, I was a scared, shy girl, didn't know what I was doing. And that was when I first started my first student services senator position in ASB. And your support has been tremendous in my growth, and I can't thank you enough. Every time I think of it now, I'm just gonna be like, remember when I used to just go walk into VP Lopez's office and be like, Art, let me tell you what happened. I need it fixed. It's amazing, been working with you, and it is a loss, like Trustee Tarpley said, and you will be deeply missed. So thank you for being the best version of you, being the best worker you can be, and being a great friend. Thank you.
All right. Is he crying over there, Monica, a little bit?
And I think what your sisters would say is a great brother. I mean, you're a family guy, so your sisters are really lucky for what you're going to do. Oh, they've got to be really happy and really proud.
All right. Looks like Lee stepped out. I'll circle back to
No,
academic.
he's right in the back.
Oh, I looked down
How
at the
did you
chair.
miss him?
He's the tallest guy in the room.
As I get closer, I get bigger.
All right.
My knee was hurting.
I saw you get up and was like,
It's
oh.
okay. It's okay.
Lee picked a good time to have to go to the bathroom. Like,
No, it's old, my knee hurts. I do, before I start my presentation, I want to thank Jay and his team. We've talked many times. I've sent many emails and movies and things about Go students. And it's really been, I'm really happy that that he and his team has addressed that, because the Go student has had an incalculable effect on our college. The amount of personnel hours from admissions and records and counseling and everybody, including faculty, dealing with this concern, but most importantly, it's had a negative effect on our students, because it's blocked access to students to courses, and as a result, student success undoubtedly has suffered. And with this new way that we're doing things, I expect to see student success skyrocket and the time to graduation decrease, and that's what we're looking for. So, as some of you know, I was Senate President in 2018, 19, and 19, 20. And
We were a different
Back in
college
1920.
then. Well, in years 1920. We were a different college then. Fast forward 5 years, being installed a little late this year in October, we've changed a lot. Some of the things that have changed is we're post-pandemic. The rate at which things are coming at the college, whether it be assembly bills or initiatives or funding streams or things, is exponentially higher than it's ever been. And we've had 5 years, most importantly, of steady growth in leadership, consistent leadership that's competent and leading us in the right direction. I think that's the biggest effect. And as a result, our college has grown. And unfortunately, when I took over Senate this time, I looked at how we were and thought that we haven't kept up as a Senate. We no longer possess the ability, the way we were, to address at the rate the things that we needed to address. And so that was my primary focus. And it's difficult because when it comes to individual APs and things that come before the Senate, I don't feel that I should impart my opinion. I let the representative, deliberative body, constituents, and representatives do their work. And they ask me, and I'm like, yes, I have an opinion, but I can't tell you. I'm not even a voting member, so I let them do their work. The one thing that I did address is that the fact that I felt that we weren't positioned to be the best that we could be for the college. And as a result, that was what I wanted to do for the first 2 years. Well, we're at the end of the first year, and some of the things that we've done are simple things like getting us in a full transparency mode, meaning that every Senate committee, the Senate, the ASEB are all Brown Act. We post on board docs. It used to just be the Board of Trustees, and now that list is getting longer and longer because you're seeing committees on there. That helps for accreditation visits and everything, and everybody gets to know what everybody's doing. Not only that, it's the law. So we got us in compliance with that. We've done a lot of transactional things. Every time an AP has to come up or an assembly bill comes up, we have to address all those things, and we're doing that. We have a committee going forth to change our bylaws and our Constitution for us to meet more frequently in the coming years, to address all the things that are coming at us, because we don't have the ability, or we don't currently, to address things at the rate at which they're coming at us. So hopefully to fix that. The things that I'm most proud of aren't the transactional things, the transformational things. Changing a lot of graduation requirements, lowering our zero-cost textbook or low-cost textbook threshold to go lower, changing how our students, if they are on academic probation, how they come back to us, making it a little easier for them to succeed after that gap time when they've been on academic probation, and all the things that we're doing for students. That's the thing that I'm most proud of. The other part, we have to do that. That's the other part of the things that we get to do, and my time has expired, so I'll sit down. Thank you very much. Hopefully in the spring, next spring it'll be even better.
Part-time faculty? I'm off. Part-time faculty?
Not here.
ASB.
Hello. So the nursing pinning ceremony is June 12th at 6 p.m. at the Victor Valley Christian Church. If you've never been to a pinning ceremony, I highly recommend it. It's such a beautiful experience. And then next week, 15 out of the 18 positions of students will be sworn into ASB. And then commencement, we are super excited for, which will have 10 ASB graduates. So it's really exciting, and just thank you for this wonderful year, and we'll see you next month.
All right. CSEA. CTA. Management. Always here.
Hello, good evening, Board of Trustees. Dr. Walden, good to see you. My name is Pablo Saldaña. I'm the interim program manager for the STEM Student Engagement Center. And I also currently oversee the Math, Engineering, Science Achievement Program, which we call MESA. Thank you, Dean Kelly, for inviting me to present today. I wanted to share a little bit about an event that the STEM Student Engagement Center and MESA program put together in May. So May 23rd, we had an astronaut come to our institution, Dr. Jose Hernandez. He was the first Mexican-American to have gone to space in 2009. Not only that, he was a farm worker when he was a child. He's a son of immigrants. So he was really beyond an engineer and a scientist. He's a beacon of hope, representation, and inspiration. So we got to have him here. There's a little video, if we can play it, Tim, I'd appreciate it. Maybe you might need to click on it. Yeah, there you go.
Please join me in giving a warm Victor Valley College welcome to astronaut Dr. Jose Hernandez.
For putting this video together. It was a really exciting time for our community to come together. A lot of our STEM scholars were there, but beyond that, it was our community. It was different generations, Mesa students brought their grandpa, their grandma, their parents, their little siblings as well. So on top of that, we also had university representatives there too. So it was just a really successful event, and I just want to thank, everybody that took part in it. Thank you, Haley, for being there, and Dr. Walden as well, and everybody that was there. Beyond this really exciting event, the STEM Student Engagement Center has also been operating day to day in Building 21. So students come there for peer support, study groups, social events, club meetings, counseling appointments, and much more. In this semester alone, so spring 2025, we had about 48 events. We have 16 weeks in the semester. So 48 events that surrounded university outreach, career speakers, BBC faculty workshops, BBC alumni speakers, and other events to continue to work towards student engagement, student success, and retention. We also hosted 2 off-campus field trips to the SoFi Stadium, through the lens of engineering and architecture, as well as the Santa Cruz trip for Mesa. So far as of this morning, we've seen over 3,600 students in this semester alone. So it's been very, very exciting, very poppin'. So I just, these are some of our guest speakers that we have this semester. So I just want to give a huge thank you. As I'm wrapping up my terms of service in this role, I just want to thank Dr. Walden, Dr. Todd Scott, Dr. Amy Azul, Dr. Carpenter as well for the trust and the opportunity, and I hope I made you proud, and may we continue to provide the absolute best programming to our students. Thank you.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
All right, public comments related to agendized items. Did I skip public comments for non-agenda earlier?
Consent agenda.
You missed it, but there were.
Oh, okay. And no public comments. All right, consent agenda. Do we have a motion?
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Brady, second by Tarpley. Student advisory.
Yes.
All right, while we're waiting for that to come up, just so everybody knows, I'm gonna move as quick as I can. I know that fire's out there, and for the people in the room that live in that direction, I know people are worried about that. So that's why I've been trying to move quick this whole meeting, but we're really gonna get going now. Action agenda. There was nothing pulled, so we're on to 12.2. Second read and approval. Is there a motion?
Motion.
How about if I make a motion that we
Oh, yes.
take 12.2 through 12.7,
Good call.
and then give Stephanie
Let's
like
ask Stephanie first.
3 minutes to do the tabulation. During that time, we go to the little bathroom.
There we go.
The technology break.
Yeah,
And
technology break.
Brady and then Terrell seconded.
Student advisory,
Yes.
and you want a verbal?
Yep.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
And then we'll break, so.
Ready? Break. Sorry.
We'll see. No.
Okay. I'm like racking my brain. No, it's okay. Now I get it. Thank you.
Yeah, that one? Okay. Cool. Thank you, Tim.
Yeah, she's our youngest.
Shins.
We're starting. Hello.
Here we go. Foundation donations. Are you playing music?
Yeah.
Need a motion in a second.
Motion.
Second.
Sorry.
Student trustee.
Yes.
I assume Kirsten was going to come up and talk, but I guess not.
She already did.
She already did.
It didn't come up yet. For
It's
me.
not popping up.
There it is. Okie dokie.
All right. On to the 14s. Regular revolving cash fund increase.
Motion.
Motion by Tarpley, second by Brady. Student advisory.
Yes.
Did it pop up yet? There we go. Estimated cost for best net services. Motion by Tarpley, second by Brady. Student advisory.
Yes.
Recalculation of the annual GAN appropriation limit.
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Tarpley, second by Brady.
Other way around. Flip it
Oh.
and reverse it.
Motion by Brady, second by Tarpley. Student advisory.
Yes.
Sorry.
Agreement Educational Management Resource Group.
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Tarpley, second by Brady. Student advisory.
Yes.
Oh,
There it is. Statewide Association of Community Colleges, SWAC. Joint Power Authority.
motion.
Second.
Motion by Tarpley, second by Brady. Student advisory.
Yes.
Work comp is helpful.
SWAC. There we go. Agreement America's Express Car Rent-A-Car.
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Tarpley, second by Brady. Student advisory.
Yes.
While we're waiting, I would say don't park one of these rental cars in one spot too long. Mackenzie will wrap the damn thing before it gets returned.
She just has them in her trunk, the wrap.
Right. That would be funny to take it back wrapped, though.
Actually.
Mackenzie's like, don't give me any ideas. We should wrap Dan's car.
Oh, yours.
2025, 26 tentative budget.
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Brady, second by Tarpley. Student advisory.
Yes.
Approval of 5-year capital outlay plan for 2025 through 2031.
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Brady, second by Tarpley. Student advisory.
Yes.
Agreement with Asa Abloy Entrance Systems US Inc.
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Tarpley, second by Brady. Student advisory.
Yes.
Agreement with Caitlin Gempler, independent contractor.
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Tarpley, second by Brady. Student advisory.
Yes.
Agreement amendment, Marlin Financing and Leasing Corporation, DBA PEAC Solutions, in cognition with Visual Edge IT.
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Brady, second by Tarpley. Student advisory.
Yes.
Soon enough, you're going to be having to read these things.
Oh, no.
Mrs. Giggle Britches. Secure ID token authorization and access.
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Tarpley, second by Brady. Student advisory.
Yes.
It's like moving slow tonight. Board delegation to certify a test board action.
Motion.
Second?
Motion by Tarpley, second by Brady. Student advisory.
Yes.
Proposition 30, educational protection account expense determination.
Motion?
Second.
Motion by Brady, second by Tarpley. Stephanie, am I going too fast for you?
Student advisory.
Student advisory.
Yes.
I was almost gonna say we could make ice cream tonight, you know?
Almost. I'm watching the clock.
Too late. It's already 7:31.
No, that's why I said it.
Almost.
Motion to change the time to 8 p.m. Protected Insurance Program for Schools and Community Colleges, JPA.
Motion?
Second.
Motion by Brady, second by Tarpley. Student advisory.
Yes.
Super important.
All right. Academic equivalency for John Franz.
Motion?
Second.
This is a construction technology. Motion by Brady, second by Tarpley. Student advisory.
Yes.
Academic equivalency for Douglas Clark. This is also construction.
Motion?
Second.
Motion by Brady, second by Tarpley. Student advisory.
Yes.
I know, right? It's like slow.
Yeah.
Mine didn't pop up yet. Nope, it's not here.
It says change vote.
Huh?
See how it says change vote in the corner? It means you already voted.
Really?
Yeah.
Did I vote yes?
I don't know. Let's find out.
Yeah?
See
It
the
went?
little red box in the corner?
I didn't
It says
click it.
Change vote. You must have inadvertently. Maybe you abstained.
Yes. See, I didn't vote.
It says you did though, so I think he's stuck.
Stuck in the past. All right. Academic equivalency,
Okay,
Mark
it's gone.
Nevins. This is for mathematics.
Motion?
Motion by Brady,
Second.
second by Tarpley. Student advisory.
Yes.
See how there's no red?
Yeah, but mine didn't pop up yet. Oh, there it is. Revision to classified job description for fiscal assistant.
Motion?
Second.
Motion by Brady, second by Tarpley. Student advisory.
Yes.
I'm like, now I'm obsessed with watching for it to pop up. I'm like, revision to classified job description for groundskeeper.
Motion?
Second.
Motion by Brady, second by Tarpley.
Don't get
Student
our-
advisory.
Yes.
I got it right.
Are they going too fast?
Are we
No,
going
she
too
loves
fast?
us. She loves us right now.
Revision to classified job description, human resources assistant.
Motion.
Second?
Motion by Tarpley, second by Brady. Student advisory.
Yes.
If I'm going too fast, tell me to slow down.
The computer's doing it for us.
It is. Revision to classified job description, instructional program specialist.
Motion?
Second.
Motion by Brady, second by Tarpley. Student advisory.
Yes.
I feel like I'm catching Pokemon. Come on.
Oh, what are you doing over there?
Trying to make it go.
You play around too
Sometimes
much.
you gotta put your phone down.
You play around too much. CSEA MOU for classified bargaining unit seniority list.
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Brady, second by Tarpley. Student advisory.
Yes.
Contract agreement with Ace Vox, statement of work. $280,000.
Motion.
Motion by Terrell,
Second.
second by Brady.
So this
Student
is the-
advisory.
This is the payment for
Yeah.
the front-facing redesign of the website.
Yes.
Student advisory, there we go.
Good job.
Employer Engagement Manager, EEM, sub-agreement, 2025 to 26, renewal.
Motion. Oops, second.
Second.
Motion by Brady and Tarpley, second by Brady and Tarpley.
We're so gracious.
Student advisory vote.
Yes.
Title of the run.
Tie, to tie.
So this money comes to the this money comes to the district from the region. This is $235,000 and pays for the position of an employee that we have here.
Nice.
Go React video coaching and assessment software agreement.
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Brady, second by Tarpley. Student advisory.
Yes.
Workforce Development, Department of Industrial Relations.
Motion.
Director of Apprenticeship Standards.
Motion.
Motion by Terrell,
Second by Brady.
second by Brady. Student advisory.
Yes.
Did you get your vote thing
It
yet?
took
Up
a
there it
minute.
is.
It was after I did it, you could get it.
Right, it goes down the line.
Technology.
Program Pathways Mapper Subgrant.
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Brady, second by Terrell. Student advisory.
Yes.
My computer apparently waits for Jen to vote, and then it gives me the opportunity.
As it should be.
Right. I don't get to vote
Joe's
until
asleep. Switch.
curriculum changes.
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Tarpley, second by Terrell. Any discussion from student trustee?
Yes.
Well, any discussion? No? A lot of other student trustees, I don't know, they always wanted to talk about this one, but student advisory.
Yes.
Amended Live Nation Worldwide Inc. agreement.
Worldwide.
Worldwide.
Second.
Motion by Brady, second by Terrell. Student.
Tarpley.
I heard Terrell, but
Sorry, I beat you on that
Oh,
one, Jen.
rude. I'm just kidding.
hey, be better. Student advisory.
Yes.
Informational, 18.1 through 18.3
Our discussion.
are first reads. Those are the ones you sent us, right?
Yes.
We got those via the email, okay? And then we've got the quarterly financial report and the quarterly financial statement. Anybody wish to discuss any of those things?
Nope,
No, then we will take a
Motion to
motion to
adjourn.
adjourn.
Motion.
Motion Brady, seconded by
Second.
Tarpley.
I did
There we
say
go. All done. 8:40.
She actually motioned.
Did you
So.
know that I've never had to be the clerk? It always skips me.